Shocking. Bucks waive Damian Lillard, sign Myles Turner. Full trade breakdown and impact. Damian Lillard to Celtics. Potential game changer for 2026-27 NBA season. Lakers pursue Damian Lillard to save LeBron and Luka title push. NBA trade rumors explained. Is the Myles Turner trade a disaster for the Bucks? Shocking. Bucks waive Damian Lillard, sign Myles Turner. Full trade breakdown and impact. In a dramatic turn of events, the Milwaukee Bucks have made headlines by waiving star player Damian Lillard and securing a blockbuster deal with free agent center Myles Turner. But here's where it gets controversial. This move not only reshapes the Bucks roster, but also signals their willingness to take bold steps in pursuit of Eastern Conference dominance. With Giannis Antetokounmpo still at the heart of their strategy, how will fans react to such a seismic shift? Let's dive into the details. According to sources close to ESPN, the Bucks are parting ways with Damian Lillard, stretching the remaining $113 million on his contract over several years. This financial maneuver clears the path for them to sign Myles Turner, who has agreed to a lucrative four-year, $107 million deal. The agreement includes a player option for the final year, 2028-29, and a full 15% trade kicker, a significant incentive for any athlete. But what does this mean for both players and the team moving forward? Lillard's tenure with the Bucks spanned just 2 seasons, ending abruptly as he continues recovering from surgery to repair a torn Achilles tendon earlier in May. While his departure may seem abrupt, it appears to be mutually beneficial. By waiving him before August 29, the Bucks can utilize the stretch provision outlined in the Collective Bargaining Agreement, CBA. Essentially, this spreads out the payment of his remaining salary across 5 years instead of 2, ensuring that no single year burdens the salary cap too heavily. For Lillard, this means he'll receive all the money owed to him while regaining flexibility to choose his next destination once fully recovered. Plus, he gets to rehab closer to home in Portland, surrounded by family, a silver lining amidst an otherwise challenging situation. On the other side of the equation stands Myles Turner, whose acquisition marks a pivotal moment for the franchise. The 29-year-old center spent a decade with the Indiana Pacers, becoming one of the most reliable big men in the league. Known for his ability to stretch defenses with his shooting range and protect the rim defensively, Turner enjoyed a standout season in 2023. He shot a career-high 39.6% from beyond the arc while averaging 15.6 points, 6.5 rebounds, and a team-leading 2.0 blocks per game. Impressively, he even set a franchise record with 46 blocks during Indiana's deep playoff run. Turner now joins an exclusive club in NBA history, standing alongside Brook Lopez and Rasheed Wallace as one of only 3 players with over 700 three-pointers and 1,400 blocks. His addition gives the Bucks a formidable presence inside and outside the paint, complementing Antetokounmpo's skill set perfectly. However, acquiring Turner wasn't easy. Initially stymied by salary constraints, Bucks general manager John Horst collaborated closely with CAA co-head of basketball Austin Brown to devise a creative solution. Their efforts culminated in a series of trades and signings designed to reshape the roster without sacrificing future draft assets. For instance, the Bucks traded guard Pat Connaughton and 2 second-round picks, 2031, 2032, to the Charlotte Hornets in exchange for Vasilij Micić. Though Connaughton provided solid contributions last season, Micić brings fresh potential to the table. Additionally, the Bucks retained key free agents like Jericho Sims, Bobby Portis, Gary Trent Jr., Taurean Prince, and Kevin Porter Jr., ensuring continuity within the squad. They also added veteran wing Gary Harris, further bolstering their depth. This flurry of activity underscores the Bucks' determination to build around Antetokounmpo, who remains central to their championship aspirations. Yet, questions linger about whether these moves will truly position them as favorites in the East. Will Turner's partnership with Antetokounmpo live up to expectations? Or could the loss of Damian Lillard haunt them down the line? Looking back, Lillard's impact on the Bucks cannot be understated. Despite battling injuries, he emerged as a locker room leader and earned his 9th All-Star nod during his second season with the team. Averaging 24.9 points and 7.1 assists per game while shooting 45% from the field, he proved himself as one of the league's elite scorers and facilitators. Unfortunately, his season ended prematurely when he suffered a devastating Achilles injury in Game 4 of the playoffs against the Pacers. Before joining the Bucks, Lillard spent 11 illustrious seasons with the Portland Trail Blazers, earning 7 All-Star selections and leading the team to 8 playoff appearances. He cemented his legacy as the franchise's all-time leader in points and three-pointers. Now, as he embarks on the next chapter of his career, the basketball world waits eagerly to see where he lands and how his story unfolds. So, what do you think? Did the Bucks make the right call by prioritizing Turner over keeping Lillard? Or is this a risky gamble that might cost them dearly in the long run? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take. Damian Lillard to Celtics. Potential game changer for 2026-27 NBA season. What if a single move could resurrect a championship dream? The Boston Celtics eyeing Damian Lillard isn't just roster shuffling, it's a strategic gamble that could define their 2026-27 season. But here's where it gets controversial. Can an aging superstar with a torn Achilles really uplift a team in transition? Lillard's injury timeline perfectly aligns with Boston's needs. Like franchise cornerstone Jason Tatum, also rehabbing an Achilles tear, Lillard would likely miss most of next season, positioning him for a healthy return in 2026-27 when Tatum's back. The Celtics can offer a $5.6 million taxpayer mid-level exception since they are operating under the first salary cap apron. Free agency is uncharted territory for Lillard after Milwaukee dumped him to retain Giannis Antetokounmpo. At 35, his championship hunger is undeniable, and Boston presents his strongest title path. This is the part most people miss. Lillard's open to Boston now despite past reluctance, thanks to his Team USA bond with Tatum. Imagine the possibilities. A healthy Lillard alongside Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, his Portland protege, and developing rookie Hugo Gonzalez. Their shared rehab could forge chemistry, while Lillard mentors young guards during the transition year. The 2025-26 season is Boston's reset year. President Brad Stevens must capitalize on Tatum, 29, and Brown's, nearly 29, primes post-rehab. Lillard wouldn't carry primary scoring duties here, easing into a movement-based role that suits his savvy over athleticism. And this is the kicker: if it fails, Boston trades him. Minimal risk for a frontline guard solution after the Kemba Walker debacle. But let's spark debate. Is Miami's lackluster roster beyond Bam Adebayo really better? Or Golden State's aging core, Curry, Green, Butler, worth Lillard's weight? I argue no. Boston's talent pipeline and championship infrastructure make it the ideal launch pad. So here's my hot take: Stevens must seize this. The reward, a championship-caliber lineup with Lillard as the clutch scorer, outweighs the risk of a short-term deal. But what do you think? Could this move backfire spectacularly, or is it the masterstroke Boston needs? Slam your opinion in the comments. Lakers pursue Damian Lillard to save LeBron and Luka title push. NBA trade rumors explained. Imagine the Lakers making a bold move to secure Damian Lillard, aiming to bolster their championship aspirations with LeBron James and Luka Doncic at the helm. This is the intriguing scenario buzzing around the basketball world. Published on July 6, 2025, 11:57 a.m. IST. Recent reports from CBS Sports have sparked excitement by revealing the Lakers' interest in Damian Lillard, who has just been waived by the Milwaukee Bucks. The Los Angeles Lakers are acutely aware that to remain title contenders in the near future, they must fully commit to building around their star duo, LeBron James and Luka Doncic. Lately, there's been a palpable sense of uncertainty surrounding LeBron, with hints that he might not be entirely committed if things don't improve swiftly. In fact, there's a growing possibility that he could request a trade in the upcoming weeks or months. At this point, his future plans remain a mystery, and recent statements from his agent, Rich Paul, have only added to the confusion. In their quest to enhance their roster, the Lakers are eyeing Damian Lillard, as highlighted by CBS Sports. Lillard, who is currently recovering from an Achilles injury, was recently waived by the Milwaukee Bucks, making him a potentially affordable option for teams willing to take a risk. Also read, Bronny James breaks silence on LeBron's cryptic post amid transfer rumors. https www.hindustanimescom sports Bronny James breaks silence on LeBron's cryptic post amid transfer rumors HTML. According to a CBS Sports report, the Lakers are one of 3 teams vying for Lillard's talents. This move could be a strategic play to satisfy LeBron's championship ambitions and persuade him to stay with the franchise after exercising his player option. But here's where it gets controversial. Lillard's expected absence from the court for at least a few months, and possibly most of the season, raises questions about whether this is the ideal fit for LeBron. While acquiring Lillard might capture LeBron's attention, it's uncertain if this move aligns with his immediate expectations, as discussed by Sporting News. Also read, DeAndre Ayton, LeBron, Luka Doncic. Here's how Lakers starting 5 looks in 2025-26. https www.hindustanimescom sports DeAndre Ayton, LeBron James, Luka Doncic. Here's how Los Angeles Lakers starting looks in HTML. Ultimately, the Lakers must prioritize decisions that benefit the entire team. If they believe that adding the former Bucks guard strengthens their roster in the long term, it's a move worth considering. John Conahan reports that the Lakers are under pressure to make the right decision. Lillard remains on their radar, but no final verdict has been reached. Over the coming weeks, we'll see if the Lakers are truly committed to this bold move, and if it's enough to convince LeBron to stay put. See less. Share this article on: Is the Myles Turner trade a disaster for the Bucks? Is Myles Turner's $107 million contract a bold move, or a risky gamble for the Milwaukee Bucks? This decision has sparked fierce debate, with critics arguing it undermines the team's chances of winning a championship. But let's unpack the logic behind this move, and why it might actually be a smart bet for the long term. The most common criticism is that even with Turner, the Bucks won't be competitive enough to challenge for a title. That's true for this season, but here's where it gets controversial: the team has a clear path to improvement. With Kyle Kuzma's contract expiring next year, Milwaukee could trade for a guard who elevates the roster. Giannis is 30, Turner is 29, 5 years to rebuild, assuming Antetokounmpo extends his deal. This isn't just about talent, it's about signaling to Giannis that the front office is committed to winning, a priority he's always emphasized. Why pursue Turner now? It's not just luck, it's a series of events that aligned perfectly. Lillard's Achilles injury, Lopez's departure, and the Pacers' cheap ownership created a window. The Bucks didn't just sign a free agent, they secured a known commodity while retaining assets for future trades. Sacrificing $22.5 million in dead salary is a cost, but the upside. A versatile big man who can stretch the floor and protect the rim. Turner's 15.6 ppg and 39.6% three-point shooting last season prove he's a high-value asset, outperforming Lopez in every category. And what if Giannis leaves? The deal still offers protection. Milwaukee would likely trade a later pick for a better asset, and Turner's contract is tradable. Even in the worst-case scenario, the team's position wouldn't be much worse than if they'd never made this move. Horst took a calculated risk, and fans will have to forgive him for it, because this was the first step toward rebuilding. Now, here's the part most people miss. The Bucks need more than just a star. They need a system that prioritizes defense. Trading for Turner instead of Lillard was a strategic shift. By focusing on defensive fundamentals, Milwaukee can build a strong offensive foundation. But this brings a critical question. If the front office targets a trade, should they go for a young, two-way player, or settle for something less? The stakes are high, and the wrong move could spell disaster. So, what's the takeaway? Turner's deal is a gamble, but it's also a necessary step. The Bucks have a chance to reset their roster around Giannis, and that's the goal. Will they get the next right move? That's up to Horst and to us, the fans, who'll be watching closely. What do you think? Is this the right path forward, or a dangerous misstep? Share your thoughts below.